Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild and Wingless. Tonight I got myself Thomas McDonald. Thomas, how are you today?
I'm very well, thanks. And yourself?
Yeah, good, mate. I've been wanting to have a chat with you for quite some time, but you always find a way to get away from me, so I can't get you down and have a chat. But you've been a very big, I'd say, a big hitter in the wingless division down in Victoria for quite many years. But for the people who don't know behind the scenes, Thomas McDonald, can you give us a bit of a brief history on how you started off in racing and to where you got to today?
Yep. So for me, I originally I was just a kid on the hill sort of thing, and I'd just be watching and with my family, and at the end of the night, sort of go back and grab the chairs, and that was it. Because my uncle was racing sprint cars, 360s, and I turned 12 or 13, I think it was. And he actually sort of said to me, "Do you want to come along?" So I was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't mind come giving it a crack, giving it a go, like come along." So I sort of helped him out for a few years, and he actually he'd won the All Star Series, so that was pretty cool. Um, and then I turned 15, and he actually never really thought of racing unless he'd always sort of watched them and that, and he actually built one and thought it'd be actually pretty easy to sort of drive, and we went down to actually Rosedale Speedway, and he gave it a crack and actually tipped it on its lid. So that was that was pretty funny to sort of watch that. Then the following year come along, and he actually had his firstborn child, so he sort of given the racing away a little bit, and said to me, "Did I want to have a go at a practice show?" So I said, "Yeah, I'll have a go." I thought, "Well, why not? Crazy enough to sort of do it." So get in, have a go. So we down at Bansdale after the Eastern series, Gary Bowden and that. Had a go, and that was pretty cool, because I'd never really raced anything at all, or even driven a car, um, even like go karts or anything like that. Sort of just jumped straight into it. So first go of that, I yeah, actually had a go, and I thought I was flying. And my uncle sort of said to me, "Are you gonna have a go or what?"
Wow.
So I was like, "Oh, I thought I was flying." He goes, "No, you weren't even really on the accelerator." I'm like, "Oh God."
Jeez.
So he said he had a go, and then the following year come along, and we'd just sort of race locally. Did Naira, the Druin, Bansdale, Rosedale. We sort of didn't do too many shows. He obviously had his firstborn, and we did that for 3 or 4 years. Um, so I was happy to do that because I was incredible enough to actually give me the opportunity
Mhm.
to even have a go. So did that, and then he said to me, "Do you want to sort of race him full time?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'd love to sort of have a go. But, it's sort of hard to do it on your own." He's like, "Well, if you can find someone to sort of come along with you, by all means, take all my equipment and go for it. Hell
Oh,
for
wow.
leather." So I was pretty happy with that. So yeah, we sort of followed on from that. And by that stage, mum and dad sort of they were interested in it, but because I got three brothers, it was sort of tough to sort of juggle each other. Like they were all sort of had their own sort of interests. So one was playing footy, one's a swimmer, one's doing hunting fishing. So it's tough for them to sort of try and do everything. Um, so I was actually fortunate enough that Todd, your mate, Todd Hobson, he sort of bought his own car and his own sort of truck, and by that stage, Ebony'd sort of given away for a little bit. So Lloyd actually said to me, "Did you want me to take you?" So he was fortunate enough to give us a couple of runs and run me around a little bit around Victoria. So I was happy to sort of give that a go.
Yep.
So we did that for a few years. And yeah, we had some tough times. We tore up a few cars, and then my uncle sort of said, like you can just keep giving it a go. I wasn't too stressed on that at all, on crashing that. Just keep having fun. So yeah, that was part of it. Um, And then 4 years ago, actually, we he wanted to sort of go back to sprint car racing,
Yep.
um, and which is fair enough too, I suppose. But I wanted to continue on racing wingless flat out. So I thought, well, if he's going to go sprint car racing, then I wouldn't be able to do it as much, you know. So I was talking to my buddy Todd actually, and he actually had his car for sale,
Hmm.
and and then by that stage, Mum and Dad had sort of started coming along to a few shows and starting to get into it a bit. And they sort of said to me, "Well, why don't you buy your own car?" And I said, "Well, I never really thought of that." So I hunted around, and I thought, "Do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it?" And yeah, I just bit the bullet, and yeah, bought Todd's car. So I bought that off him, and from there we've just continued on, you know, like and just built bigger and better. Like just keep racing as many shows as we can, and with a little team, it's pretty good.
Yeah, right. So how long have you been in wingless
So
for?
10 years actually. 10 years I've been racing.
Wow.
So quite a long time. So yeah, it's time flies when you're having fun, I suppose.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. That's a pretty good introduction, and not only that, you're virtually with like Victorian royalty with the Hobsons, so that's pretty cool. Um,
yeah. If you ask them, I'm actually known as sort of the favorite child, I suppose you'd say, from Lloyd.
yeah, you're Lloydie's favourite, are you?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Apparently, yeah, according to them,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, if you're up against Todd, for example, it's not hard. Um,
Yeah, well, that's it.
so all right, what is it? Because you've also raced some other divisions too, haven't you?
Yeah, I've now got a LS sprint car, so I'm
Hmm.
racing sort of juggling between the two, which is pretty cool, I suppose.
Yep. So all right, what
Which
is
is,
it about wingless racing that you like? What is it you enjoy so much?
well, that's where I started. So I guess it's because it's so competitive. Doesn't matter where you go. Like I've actually travelled a fair bit, and I've been to Darwin, I've been to South Australia, New South Wales. I've been around a bit. I haven't been to Perth yet. I'd actually really like to get there one day. Um, yeah, it's just so competitive, and racing against close mates is pretty cool. You know, like you always joke around with one another during the week um, on who beat who, and yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right. So this season, for example, what's been one of the highlights for this season you've found?
Oh, it'd have to be win and drawn. You know, we'll talk about this the other day. I've only ever won day shows, so
Really,
that's pretty cool. I've never actually won a night show, so I've
really,
won two day shows at drawn this year. So that's pretty cool.
that's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I didn't know that because I mean I just from the stuff we get sort of see on social media and stuff like that. Not this year, but sort of years in the past, I'd often see your name floating around on the. You'd always be up inside the top five sort of thing. So I assumed you had a bucket load of first place. But wow, all right. So you're a daytime master. There you go.
Yep.
Right. I had the fortunate. I was very lucky to meet you on the SummerSlam this year. Tell me your thoughts on the SummerSlam. Well, first of all, how did you go? What did you like about it? You didn't like about it? Tell us everything.
SummerSlam for me this year actually was pretty tough. You know, last couple of years have been really good. I've made each A main, and yeah, this year I struggled with a bit of car speed. On the final night, I actually made the show, so I was happy to do that. But yeah, the other three nights, yeah, really struggled. But it's so competitive with 70 cars. Anyone can win. You just really got to put a night together, like with a bit of luck on your side, and move forward in your heats. If you don't move forward in your heats, it's very tough. Like every race you go out is pretty much an A main.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just very tough.
Yeah, that's right. Where did you end up finishing overall? Do you remember?
I think it was about 15th, somewhere around there. So
That's
we weren't
respectable. That's
too
good.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah, yeah. That's all right. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. And you also competed for the Victorian state title this year. How did you go in that?
Yeah. So we actually following on from the SummerSlam, I sort of didn't really find car speed that much. I actually was running backwards and forwards with my uncle, and I'd spoke to him a bit about it. What can we do? And he said, "Oh, well, you can jump back in my car. We'll have a go and have in my car. See if I can sort of get you going back up there." We went to Avalon for the Super Series round,
Mm-hmm.
um, and we had really, really good car speed. We finished third,
Yeah, right.
and I thought, well, that's okay. We'll sort of got to go back to my own car. But he said, would I go to the Vic title? And I said, yeah, well, if you want to go, we'll go. So I went, we went, we moved forward in the first heat race. Second heat race, I stuff up a little bit, spun out, but I regrouped and got back forward, back to where I started. So that was right. So we made the feature. And actually, before we went out for the second heat race, we had a little rambling. Um, Actually had no throttle, and I was starting on the front row.
Ooh,
Um, so we got that sorted, and we come back in after the heat race and stuffed around with that for a bit, and we didn't. We forgot to do the throttle linkage up.
yep,
So I went out there for the AMA. We'd only done a couple of laps. So we'd started 12th, and we're up to 7th, I think.
yep.
And I went into turn one and just had no accelerator. And luckily enough, the yellow had actually come out, so I'd sort of was lucky with that, and not everyone would crawl over the top of me. So we'd actually DNF'd on that, which is kind of sucks,
Yeah.
but it's sort of it's part of motorsport, it's part of racing.
Oh, I don't like that part,
So
but I don't like that part.
no, it is brutal. It is
Everyone
brutal.
says it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, right. So how have you gone in the past in Vic titles? You've done good.
um, I was sort of in the top 10, but not never really sort of looked at a podium. I sort of, I really, it's hard for myself because I sort of in my heat races, I don't really, I struggle a bit, and then in the final, I sort of move. But
Yep.
because it's so tough, it's hard to once you sort of get going, it's hard to sort of get up the front. Um, yeah. So yeah, I haven't really placed in a title at all, a state title. Yeah.
One thing I have noticed with traveling is the guys down in Victoria, that level of competition, because you guys are just racing every week, and Saturdays and Sundays too. Let's not forget that. It's the competition down there is just like that next level. All of us guys in New South Wales, we often talk about it like far out, man. Like just imagine if we had the tracks that they've got, the location, the racing as much as the Victorian guys have, like far out. No wonder why Victorian guys are so good, Like so, I can understand why it's difficult, even on club shows, to get like you get top five on a club show, man. That's awesome. That is dime a dozen. Because man, look at the Australian titles. Like how many of those guys are
Yeah,
from
that's right.
from Victoria? You know what I mean? Like it's just so. Yeah, it's one of those hard things.
Yeah,
You
it's
do
crazy.
you're doing the South Australian title, aren't you? At Borderline, yeah.
Yeah, it will be actually. And now that the LS Sprint car, they've actually moved their SA title to that too. So I'll probably I'd like to do double duties there. So
Double
that'd
duties.
be pretty cool. I've never actually done that, so that's one to tick off the bucket list. So
Far
that'll be
out.
cool.
You're going to be getting in the gym before the lead up and get those arms ready, or what?
No, I'd have to,
Do you like
yeah.
Do you like Murray Bridge? I mean, sorry, Mount Gambier. Do you like that track?
Mount Gambier is a cool track actually. It's probably, well, it's near close to my favourite one. I actually like going there. It's nice and wide and big. Yeah, and always racy there. Like, yeah,
Yep.
always good facility. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah,
No, that's good. All right. Well, I've got a few questions for you before we end this. Okay. So, what is your favourite racetrack?
it'd be Simpson.
Simpson.
Just because it's a tricky little bull ring actually. Being you got a tight little corner in 3 and 4, so it's yeah, you really got to setup wise. It's quite tricky,
Yep.
and yeah,
I,
it's
I
very tough to get around.
I don't think any photos prepared me for what I saw when I walked to the pit gate there and looked down the hill in turn four and just thought, what the heck have they done here? They had to like put an extra wall around the track to bank up 3 and 4, and That's just insane. So, all right, so that's one of your favorite. That's good. That's good. All right, what's your favorite moment in the sport? What's been your favorite moment?
It'd have to be me first ever win um, at Darlington. Um, yeah, to be honest with you, I never really thought I'd actually be able to sort of do it. I sort of doubt myself a little bit, but yeah, when I sort of won, I was pretty happy to do that in my own sort of team with mum and dad with me. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's awesome, man. And okay, so your racing number V20 or even just 20. Is there any meaning to that? Where did that come from?
So that's just original. My uncle actually got it off Brett Nail and Dan Tobias. They had that number, and yeah, just followed on from there. And I sort of just took that number off him, and just yeah, that's just what I've had.
Nice. No, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, the thing I do, Tommy, is
Yeah.
everyone who comes on the show, I give them an opportunity to thank their partners, their sponsors, and that sort of stuff that help them get to and from the track. So the floor's all yours, my friend. Who do you want to thank?
Oh, firstly, thanks to me mum and dad, because without them, I couldn't be doing it. Complete Irrigation Solutions, Maliku Group, B&B Retaining Walls, I do get Foster's Transport, DNF Racing Products, Cool Freighters, Local Print Shop, Hair by Esther, Magnet Towing, um, Nan and Pop. Yeah, just without them, I wouldn't be racing.
No, that's awesome, man. Well, look, it's I'm upset that I won't be seeing you coming up week with at the Australian title, but I definitely look forward to catching up with you shortly on the road somewhere. Okay, so you take care, everyone. That's Thomas McDonald there, driver of the V20. And yeah, thanks for tuning into this episode. Feel free to look him up on socials and say hello to him. Till next time, guys, take care. I'll see you then.
Thanks for having me. See ya.